Hi, welcome back to this one. So in the previous, we talked about the where made ourselves to the. So now we're just going to dive in. So the data set that we'll be using in this section is the US address. So first we would bring out like 5 rows, which is an efficient way to sort of have a feel of the data. So we have like from US addresses, which is limiting 5 rows. And then so here, if we, for instance, say, okay, we would like to see rows that the numbers are greater than 10,000, for instance. So here we have where number is greater than 10,000, right? So this is the column. We're targeting this column. We're filtering using this column. And so when we use the where and a greater than sign, then when we run the queries, you will notice, I think that's a problem somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think this is a specific error that comes with the column in itself. So maybe we could try another column. So let's pick up another one. I would be in future class explain why I can't. So let's maybe use the zip code. Let's use the zip code. So we would like to see a zip code that is greater than 80, so which is greater than 80,000. So where the zip is greater than 80,000. So it's only going to read rows where the seed is greater than 80,000. So now it brings out a couple of rows. Maybe if then check the zip, we will notice that all the zip that is being displayed is greater than 80,000. You will never find anyone that is less than 20,000 and 80,000. Of course, in similar fashion, we could also do like a zip that is less 80,000. In similar fashion, so if we're interested in areas with the zip being 80,000, we would be able to find it by filtering that. Of course, if we know the zip code, we can even be more specific and see where the zip code is equal to this, right? So in this case, because we know the zip code, we just essentially like go for that. So now it's returned only cases where the zip code is, 04062, right? It's returning all the columns because we selected all the columns and said like, okay, we would like to bring all the columns for cases where the zip code is equal to so, and so. And so we could say, oh, we want to see the street, the speeds, all this kind of other things that comes with. But here we wouldn't be selecting specifically. Another thing we could do really is to say, okay, we would like to see the zip code and provide a couple of options, right? We would like to see, maybe we would like to see the code for 04062, 04063, and 04064, right? Let's just put this as 4 options. And then so when we run it, we can see cases where we have 04064, 04062, 04, perhaps we would see 063, but we haven't seen. Of course, if it exists, if we increase this limit, we could see 6. So the idea here is that we essentially saying where the Z is these numbers, right? So we could have another one that is 80, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have to be like sequential in any order, right? It could be like, it could be a couple of values that are completely apart. So we can see now that we have these cases of 80,000, 1, 2, 3, and 7, 5, 6, 4, 3. So essentially, the in is basically saying, okay, I'd like to see this and this and this and these options. Whenever they are in the data set, please return, right? So the idea of where, like we said before, it returns the columns that we want. So it returns the exact columns we want. It returns the exact rows that we want. Unlike the select, which basically returns the exact columns that we want. So this is the idea of where select, which is completely two different things. Another very interesting one is between. So if you notice in this first part, where we kind of had like the sequential cases, one thing we could have done differently is just put between, because of course we know it's between this limit, which is the minimum, and this maximum. So it could be any value between this, right? So we could say select star from the US addresses where the zip is between the minimum and the maximum. So when you run it in this case, what you will get in this case is the minimum, right? And the maximum. So you have the maximum and the minimum, right? So you can get like the one that is also there in between, like 04063 could also be there. Perhaps we could increase this so that we would we'll have to see some numbers in between, right? So the between is essentially starting from the beginning of that range to the end of that range. And of course, you will see that thing that is in between. That's the goal. And so now we have done the between. We have done the greater than, we have done less than, done the equal to. And the next one, we would look at the like. That's what we'll be doing in this video.